Good day again, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Back at it again. Alright, just before we get into this, what's happening, which is very pretty much interesting, I just want to give a shout out to, I think it's Leanne, Michael, and I think it's Alice. So you guys are following what's happening. But we looked at this trade and we were thinking it's a high probability that it's going to go down to this resistance line, right? But one of the things that I've always said, especially on a Sunday, you do your homework, right? Meaning, know where your lines of resistance are, look at all, and I mean all, at least starting from the largest time frame, monthly. Look at all your time frames to see what is happening and to give you an idea of what is happening, right? So that you won't be lost. Alright, so one of the things that I had looked at in an earlier video is that I was trying to figure out this wedge pattern, if it's upper or lower wedge, right? Because this, a wedge indicates a reversal, right? And I just made an assumption that the possibility that it was a lower wedge because it's declining ever so gently, right? And so we see what the movement that we were seeing seems to be not a situation where it intends to come back down here, but funny enough, and it seemed to be to me against the market, that it might be trying to break through this line that would have been here, right? So it would have been here, we draw here, and it's trying to break through. So it keeps testing, right? And that is the situation as it exists. Even though I'd assume that there's a high probability that this thing would have gone down, I did trust my indicators, right? So you always wait for confirmation from your indicators, right? And I was initially thinking that maybe this thing was actually a false breakout, right? So when it reached, I think just about right here, then I entered the market. I was trying something new, messed up myself. I actually entered right here, messed up myself, and came out. So I was trying something new. So in reality, I probably should have been about at least about 500 pips right now. So what I was trying to do is a new strategy, and it can only be done if you're pretty much sure of the dip. When the market is moving in the direction it's moving in, if you're pretty sure of it. And so what I was trying to do is I would keep on taking some lots. So if you know it's moving, then you keep on taking some lots, and because of the movement it will be able, even though you start with a certain amount of money, but because of the movement, whether up or down, whichever direction you choose, once it's going in that direction, the account would have been able to handle it, and that is how you can, actually double your money in one move. It's a little bit risky, but again, if it's a breakout strategy and you're sure it's confirmed and it's going in the direction it's going, then you can do it. All right, so literally I was trying it, and I wasn't even sure which one of the accounts was first, and ended up closing the most profitable account, which I started right here. Right. However, as you can see right here, it is testing that line that would have been drawn. Right, so it's trying to go up. When we look at get this a little bit smaller. Right, so initially it was trying to, break right here, and it has broken through based on what I've seen. Right, so what I intend to do is just hold it. We are going to have the London market coming up. Right, it's about 3 o'clock, and then we'll have that's the London banking hours coming up, and then the New York banking hours. Alright, so I'm kind of letting it run a little bit, watching it, and see if we're gonna get some work out of it. Just set the stop orders and see what's happening. But again, the key thing here is that you can always expect the unexpected with the market. So even though I would say I was 80% convinced that, listen, it's there, that it's coming right back down, as 80% convinced. But you should always be aware that, it's just like driving on the road. You're following the rules, something happens, right? And that's how the market behaves. So the key thing is trust your eyes. Have your indicators in place, which will tell you if your analysis was wrong, incorrect, or if it was correct. And trust the indicators. If it's telling you it's wrong, don't go against it, right? And so I'm looking at this trade. It's interesting, right? So let us see what's going to happen with it. I'm just going to set the stops, and then the 2 o'clock hours, 3 o'clock, check again, see what's happening. And because the fact is, if it's a reversal, and it may not be a big reversal, I'm not sure, because the market, based on what we're seeing, it's just going down, right? It's going down, but you can have spikes for whatever reasons, right? But it's really going down gently, so it may very well come back down at some point. So it's really, but it's real choppy, and that's it, right? So if in fact this is a reversal pattern, as it would look like, and it's trying to break through this line of resistance that we would have drawn here, then how far that would go based on what's happening here, because it's just been going down. But again, we have to trust what we see and then work with it. So you know, that's it for today. So we're going to just give it a break and see what's happening, because as I said, I do believe we have some hours coming up which I could the liquidity will be available, volumes will be higher, and you know, the market has been just breaking through. So it broke through this initial line of resistance and it came up. So even though, you know, based on the breakout that I expected, it's not something that's really flowing slowly and going nicely and going nice and gentle. Excuse me. That resistance line that would have drawn for the wedge, I mean, that's a heavy line over quite a number of quite a long time, so it's heavy. So let us see. I mean, again, I'll just set my stop losses and just ensure that come what may, you know, you're still in a profit no matter what it is, and then see if this is something that can run a little even until maybe about the 11 o'clock today, right? So let me see what's happening with it. Although, as I said before, I did make a little mistake because I actually entered here and I was trying a couple of things, but that's the reason why I use the demo. I mean, you're supposed to make a mistake here before you don't want to make that type of mistake when with your live account, right? Because that's actually a lot of pips that have given up right here, right? Because I closed it out by mistake, you know, as in just one of those things. But hey, let us see what is happening, and just one of those things, right? So you just have to reset again, and remember, if you made there, you have to let the market, I mean, how I trade, I'm going to trade in the direction that the market is going. So if the market says it's going somewhere, I'm not trading against it, right? So even though, as I said before, I was looking for, you know, this thing to retrace and come right back down here. If the market is going up, it is going up, right? And that's the reason why we do our analysis. So we have to leave open the possibility that can happen, right? And even if we weren't looking at the wedge pattern, as I said before, I think in a previous video, it can go right up, right? And that's the name of the game. So we just have to be ready. I think the key thing is not to predetermine. And when I say predetermine, mean that you're gonna set a trade to predetermine, which you could, right? And depending on how you do it, then it wouldn't have triggered the trade. So it's a possibility. I don't like to trade like that, though. I like to see what's happening in the market, place my trade, right? Everybody's different, but let us see what is happening. And even though it has retraced somewhat, again, as I said before, I watched it. It was here banging again. This point of resistance right here, right? So it was banging against this, and then it went over it. So let us see. Come a little bit later if you know what is going to happen. So we see right here where the green line for the alligator is crossed and it's up. The once the blue line is up, that means it's a bullish market, right? You see our trend line, trend indicator tells us that it's likelihood of a trend is high. All right, so we're gonna leave it and see what happens. Right? Before I got in the trade, I really was holding back because you know there's sometimes can be a lot of falls, a lot of noise in the market, right? But when I saw the second bullish candlestick and it looked strong, I mean, you know, I had to change my mind and get in the market and just trust what the market was telling. So as I said before, I actually got in here, but I was trying a new style of trade of you know, you once you're trading in the right direction, then you would put multiple lots on it as you go along, right? And you know what, hey, just trying something, so you know you have to try it here. But I was seeing other persons use it successfully. But the key thing is that initially you would have just one lot size, whatever the lot size is, and then once your breakout is going in the correct direction, then you would quickly add multiple lot size, and because it's going in that direction, then it's basically paying for itself, but you will increase the amount you earn in one tick, right? Obviously with something like that, you have to know what to do, because the fact that you're increasing your lot size, it means that depending on how much it is, it can take away a lot from you. But hey, risk and reward, right? Depends on how you look at it. But we'll talk about that another time. Right? So keep at it, guys, and peace out. Remember, subscribe and share. Right? So it's a journey that we're traveling together, and hey, we're gonna let everything out right here, so that when we're in it for real, then I mean, you know, we're used to it, and you know, you can control your emotions and just focus on the skill level and doing what it is that repetitively, what it is that you choose to do over and over again. All right? So peace out, guys, and have a good day.